On today's episode of Prodigy Pulse, where we showcase athletes and help build their personal brand, we talk with Bryson Webb, who's a Division I baseball player who has gained over 70,000 followers across his social platforms. Let's go learn how he did it. So, how are things with you?
Busy, yeah.
Yeah.
Season starts in less than 2 weeks now, so it's
Oh, really?
crunch time. Yeah, it's first. We're headed out to Texas in a couple weeks, so
Oh, shit.
um,
Nice.
yeah, it's exciting. But
Are you guys playing like a little showcase down there or what?
so we just have a first non-conference series down there against Houston Christian, and then come back, and then we're out to California the following weekend. Play the University of San Francisco, and then it's just travel from there on out until we start conference play in early or middle March, and then not a lot of time off. So
That's crazy.
yeah, it's wild.
So, you looking forward to that? That's
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I'm excited to kind of get going with it. It's been I think the next few weeks are like just the worst part because you want to play so bad, and then
right.
like it's just the anticipation just builds up. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's good.
That's sweet. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess you might as well just jump right into it.
might as well.
Yeah. So obviously you're playing baseball at Central Michigan, but what was your first memory playing baseball?
I mean, I've been playing baseball probably ever since I could walk. I was the youngest of three boys, so definitely always just trying to keep up with them and follow their footsteps. So I think I started playing baseball around 3 years old, and I just remember going to my brother's baseball games and watching them play and just like kind of fooling around with the other kids, like the right field line or whatever's going on. But my earliest baseball memory is was playing t-ball out back of a Heritage Elementary School,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny. So, and just kind of grew up Corey Park, Kelly Danon, and then just like all those levels up until where I'm at now. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So for
fun.
people that don't know, break down kind of like your baseball timeline. Like you're in college now, but what were your steps before that?
Yeah, so like I said, playing baseball since I'm 2, 3 years old. So definitely been at it for a while. But
Yeah.
I had a very public. Like there was no, I didn't do anything crazy with my baseball career early on, especially like I just wanted, my parents wanted to make sure I could build relationships with people. And like travel ball at the time was not as popular as it is right now, especially with like the travel ball circuit. It's been growing like crazy, and it still is. And I think that's part in due to content creation and stuff like that. Kids want to kind of live in those shoes and in those settings. So, but no, I played like rec league, community ball, like all growing up. Um, throughout until I was 16 years old, which is when I joined my first travel ball team, CBT, which is a team out in Appleton, and that was the first time I kind of realized like I wanted to play in college. So we kind of traveled the Midwest, my 16U and then 17U. We went down south a little bit, which was super fun, super challenging. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't heavily recruited at all. So I mean, I had like three offers in high school, was two D2, one JUCO, and then I committed to a D2 school, and then I played over the summer my senior year, and then for whatever reason got offered by Central Michigan, and now here I am. So my third year here at Central Michigan. I'm a redshirt sophomore, so definitely a long way coming, but it's one of those situations where you either love the process or you just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we obviously went to high school together, but
yeah,
describe that like recruiting process because I know you were committed to one school and then all of a
hmm
sudden, you kind
just
of
like
upgraded.
flipped.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's like the weirdest thing. It was like totally random too because I had like committed to Winona State like the September of my senior year of high school, and like it was like fine. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. I remember this is so funny. I remember seeing kids in high school had like their signing days, and
Right.
I was like, dude, this is like so dumb. Like the people at the signing days were like people were going to D1. I remember Jordan and Miles had theirs. They were
Yeah.
going to D1 schools. Like, bro, no one's gonna like care that I'm going to this like D2 school in Minnesota. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So no, so I did that. It was whatever. I was like, yeah, this is cool. I get to play college baseball. It's kind of everything I've worked for. So at that point, like senior year, it was fine. My senior season was fine. Nothing outstanding by any means. And then I played Legion ball my summer, just like another community. Like it goes back to community baseball, which is the funniest thing for me because like I would have thought playing travel ball would have gotten me more exposure, but it actually ended up being the opposite. And that's not like a dig on travel ball or anything, but I would say it was definitely a little bit more surprising that it came from just like playing community ball again. It's like kind of came full circle before I ended up here.
Sure.
But Dan Lucas, who was our head coach, he was the SID at St. Albert College, which is a D3 school in our town, for a little while, and I grew pretty close to him. Like he treated me with respect, which is something that I really appreciated because coaches can sometimes try to belittle people, especially like at the high school level, where it's like they think they know all, and then they think their way is the best way. So he was open to having conversations and stuff, which I appreciated. And he was actually he actually knew the Central Michigan staff that was here before the current staff, Coach Bishel and all of them who are now at Cincinnati. So he had worked with them at St. Albert a while back, and I think the fact that he maintained that connection says a lot about the person he is. So
Mm.
I was going to take his word for it, and I ended up playing really really well that summer, and he said that he thinks that I was destined to be something greater than Winona State, which like the Winona State seemed like a great place, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. So he just like texted Coach Bishop, was like, hey, like if you need another guy, I got another guy for you. Coach B never saw me play, like the staff never even heard of me.
Right.
And they just kind of took his word for it, and I ended up just flipping on the spot because I knew like that dream of playing D1 baseball that I've been having ever since I was a kid could finally come to fruition. And I think if I ever had the chance to do that, like I was going to take it 100%, like no questions asked.
So were you committed? Like, did you ever get dropped from Winona, or did you decommit then recommit to Central Michigan?
Yeah, so that was like a 3-day process because like I was technically committed and signed. So
Dang.
like I like when you're committed, you can still like it's like kind of like an asshole move, but like you can still technically get offers from other schools, even though like it's a verbal commitment. So like nothing's like in writing. But I was like it's signed, like I had my signature, like I was gonna go there or whatever. And
Right.
then like so I pretty much had to talk to Central, like I wasn't really talking to Central Michigan. I just like talked to my Legion coach, like through him to Central Michigan, and like I had to go through this whole NCAA process of like unsigning, and then like that phone call to Winona State coach was so awkward. I was like, yeah, I just don't think it's for me. Like I kind of had to
Yeah.
like lie a little bit through my teeth, which was like a little unfortunate because I did know I had this opportunity coming
Right.
pretty much right afterwards, and I don't think that he necessarily knew it was happening. So, um, but yeah, it just goes back to like, dude, just like take a chance on yourself. Like anybody who has any sort of aspirations in whether it's sports or creative space, like taking a chance and kind of going all in for it is the start, and then you gotta trust the process and then love it at the same time afterwards. So it was a grind too my freshman year. Like that was it's rough,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. So, you mentioned the content creator space. I mean, you've
Mhm.
recently moved. Like, was that this year? Last summer, I think you moved into like started doing videos like your day to day and stuff.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you've grown.
I yeah, I initially started posting on TikTok the summer of my freshman year, which was 2023. Yeah, I think. So like I was this was all because of my older brother Tyler. He was like, dude, you're literally living a life that like people want to see.
Mhm.
And the only reason I started is because I wanted to like get in the NIL space because like going to a mid-major school, like yeah, I play at a Division 1 level, but being at a mid-major school, there's not a lot of like attractiveness to that kind of I guess life like that you have the high like SEC, ACC, Big Ten schools like those are like the picture perfect like athletes that companies actually want to work with. So I knew I kind of had to stand out in some way or another, and that was just through content creation. Like, and it just kind of started my summer, my freshman year. I knew it was going to be easier to start when I wasn't at school, which is a little bit interesting because like I was always worried about what people were going to think about it at school. So like doing it over the summer was definitely a good way to kind of ease into it. I knew people were going to find out eventually, and I just kind of had to tell myself I really didn't give a shit.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, did that. I only posted on TikTok for a while. I like started posting on YouTube a little bit too, and then I stopped. And then fast forward to the summer of my sophomore year in 2024, I got hurt. So like I had to get ankle surgery, and like I like TikTok was going fine, but like I knew if I wasn't gonna be able to play baseball, I would need to kind of figure something else out. So I invested in a camera, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna like go through this whole um like day in the life every day. I'm going to try to do this at least, just to kind of give people an inside look about what I do during the summer. Even though I wasn't playing summer ball, I was trying to show like workouts and stuff. And then I knew that I would have to weed into that surgery on my ankle, and then I had this like road to recovery that I had. I didn't do a very good job with it, but it didn't have a lot of traction anyway, so it was fine. It was just kind of a way for me to kind of diversify platforms, like because there were talks early last year about TikTok being banned. I was like, shoot, so I'm gonna have to like find something else. So yeah, I've been posting on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok all now for a while. But
Yeah, so basically, kind of, I don't know, you mentioned it, kind of like worrying about what people think. Like you and I are kind of like in the same field where it's like posting yourself
yeah,
on social media. It's like it
yeah,
sounds so much easier than it is. It's just like, oh, you just got to turn the camera on and talk to it. But then it's like
right,
that you think like, oh man, what are people gonna think if I do this?
yeah.
Saying this right? What are people gonna think? But how did you personally? How did you help kind of get over that hump of what people are gonna think, especially being in a college? New
Right.
people, new faces. You're dealing with mid-20
It's
guys. So how'd you
right.
go through
Yeah.
that process?
It's funny because I remember randomly like one day my freshman year, like everybody was just talking about like who they think would start like posting TikToks like on the team, and they all said it was me. So I was like, I think it's kind of funny that they said that, and then I actually started doing it. But like, I don't know. I think I've grown to the point where it's like I'm passionate about it, so guys are like they don't really give me a ton of crap for it.
Mhm.
A couple of the guys that have been here since my freshman year, they're still kind of hard on me for it, but like it's all fun and jokes. Like they're not gonna be like really mean about it. And like so they I have a lot of teammates that even like love to be in the videos, which is great.
Right.
Like if I'm comfortable having a camera around, like that makes them feel a bit more comfortable. And obviously there's like limits as to what I'm gonna show, but like if I can just like have a camera in the locker room and guys just want to like pop their head in and be like, yeah, what up? Like I think that's kind of cool because like my same old face might be a little boring after a little while. So it's important that I kind of mix it up and having guys that are willing to kind of be in the videos and like are being like, hey, like you film in LA, like I think that's cool.
Mhm.
So it's been a lot better just because I think I've grown to a point where I've been so comfortable with it and passionate about it that guys are starting to be more comfortable with it too.
Right. Yeah. And you've grown like 70,000 followers across TikTok and Instagram. And
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed you've picked up some NIL deals or
Mm-hmm.
for you and your team. Describe
Yeah.
how like your personal brand has helped you get NIL deals.
Yeah. So again, like building that person, it takes time. Like I think initially I thought that it was just kind of take off like right away, and that wasn't necessarily the case. Like I remember I started posting videos and over the summer of my freshman year, and immediately when I got back to school, I mean I was like barely at like 9,000 on 10,000 on TikTok maybe, and like I reached out to companies and they were still like so uninterested, and I was like, damn, like that kind of sucks because I thought it was just gonna be like I get to a certain point and then just kind of like explodes. But no, I mean it's a pretty like slow
Yeah.
growth process, and consistency is definitely key with that. But as I've kind of figured out what works for me, what types of styles of videos works for me, what yeah, stuff like that. Like I've found more success uh working with companies because I know like the value that I bring to them, and I kind of know what it's worth. And I've worked with people who like are in NIL agencies and stuff, and like they've kind of helped me figure out like how to negotiate, how to present ideas. Like you can't simply just say, "Hey, I want to work with you." You have to like actually have deliver a plan in the initial DM with stuff like that, and that has definitely helped me a lot because then I can negotiate from there. And yeah, it's been a big learning curve. I'm definitely in a better spot than I was like last year,
Right.
but yeah, it's been cool working with companies like this. It's been a blessing for sure.
Yeah, so describe how you work with these companies kind of from start to finish, Is it like
Right.
Instagram reach out? Is it like your email? Or how do these companies just get a hold of you? Or how are you reaching out to them?
Yeah. So Instagram DMs is a very underutilized resource in my opinion. Like it takes one DM and something can happen. So whatever you can do to stand out in that DM, and like bigger companies to get a lot of them. So it kind of takes a little bit of time for them to go through them sometimes. And um, yeah, I mean Instagram outreach. I work with an agency pretty regularly called Slice. They reached out and they've been great. Like they do a ton of outreach for me, which is awesome. I've worked with other third party platforms before. And they just take like a cut of like what I earn, which isn't a big deal. Like they negotiate some money on top of that just so I'm not getting totally screwed over. But
Sure.
no, yeah, like I still do some myself. Like I want to still be proactive because I don't want to lose that like networking skill.
Right.
Because I think that's very important, especially beyond like if I'm not gonna play baseball forever. So like it's
Right.
important that I kind
Yep.
of build stuff like that early on. But yeah, I kind of just hop right into it. Like, hey, I'd love to work with you guys. Here's what I can do for you. We can talk about money and stuff if you're interested. Just let me know. And it's usually a pretty dynamic back and forth where they have some ideas or there are some requirements they have like in like a brief or something like that. And then there's something on my end where like again, I know what I bring to the table. I know my value that I have to these companies. Like especially smaller middle level company. Like I'm not gonna work like Adidas, right? Like that's like a big company. They're working with pro athletes and stuff like that. But if I'm working with like a company that has a few 100,000 followers on Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, I think whatever as a creator, like I bring value because a lot of these companies don't really know how to make content. Like they don't make engaging content. Like they have all these followers, but their reels or TikToks, they get like 1,000 views. So it's like me having a consistent outreach that I can bring my style to their product or service is like that's where my value comes in. I think sometimes companies have a hard time wrapping their head around that concept because either they're new to it or they just like have never really been open to it. So it definitely takes a little bit of nudging sometimes, but I think the more that creators are growing and the more that social media is growing, people are starting to understand that a little bit better. And so it's been easier, especially as I've been growing. Big posting on Instagram has definitely helped me a lot because like there are some companies that are just on Instagram, so they don't really know like they don't like know that how what I'm doing on TikTok,
Mhm.
and that I've been more successful on TikTok up until this point. So, um, joining Instagram has definitely helped me a lot out with that because I can like post on the same video on multiple platforms. It's like double the reach. So,
Right.
that's been good.
So when you were first getting started, how did you figure out your NIL value? Like how did you know what to value yourself when you're kind of pitching yourself to these companies?
Right. Yeah. Man, it was like I'll start with like the content piece. So like it is trial and error. Like there are a lot of things that I did that work, and there are a lot of things that I did that just like completely flopped. Like
Right.
that's like the frustrating part of it though, because there's no right answer, but there's not one right answer. There's like multiple answers. Like you can't just do one thing and have one video pop off and just expect that to carry you through. Like the consistency piece and then the creativity piece, like those go hand in hand. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. Like, especially when you see these people that are like one hit wonders, like the Hawk Tuah girl, like I don't like her at all
Yeah.
because she has this one thing. And I'm like, dude, you cannot like just, you need something new. And like, they need to make podcast mics a little harder to get, I think, because like you can't just
Yeah.
expect to have this one video and then do a podcast and people are going to listen to it. Like
Yeah.
that's just not how it works. So like people need to do a creators, in my opinion, are good at specializing in their own thing. Like I'm not the first athlete to do like create content, but I think I do it in a unique way where I do a little bit of day in the life. Like you see what I do. I do some muddy skit videos with the voiceovers and sounds on TikTok. I do get ready with me. Like you see my personality and also you see like the trends on TikTok. So I think
Sure.
those like balancing those out. And I've been a little bit more on like the personal side, like hitting, fielding. Like I do a lot of mic'd up stuff just because I think it's important that I show what I'm doing, but I'm also talking to the people because like if I'm able to kind of build like a personal connection, that'll help me work with companies. Like if companies see that I'm not posting like voiceovers on TikTok, like they see that I have a personality, I feel like it's a little bit more appealing. It's also easier to like mix in like their product with my videos if I'm like actually a voice and like a face of the uh, account. Like
Right.
there's gonna be times where like they can even throw their own ideas into it. I'm like, dude, hell yeah, like let's do it. Like it makes it a lot easier since that I have my own personality for that kind of stuff. And I think that's where a lot of the value comes from is because I I am the face of what I do. Like there are people that just kind of wear their university on their sleeve where I was like, people might not know where like I had people ask, where do you play? And I think that's kind of funny because like they're not looking up Central Michigan baseball, they're looking up me, which is kind of cool. So just, yeah, like having a personality, like being your own person and kind of building your brand around that, like personal identities is definitely where a lot of the value comes from.
And where you're at now, are you getting more money or are you getting more stuff sent to you and then you're making these videos and then money's coming on the tail end of that if it does well? Or kind of how does that process work?
Yeah, so like I'll and this is like part of the negotiation part where like companies love to offer micro influencers affiliate links, and I hate affiliate links. Like they are actually the worst thing in the world. I have tried affiliate links before, and they're just the most frustrating process because it's like it's so hard to devote a video to this affiliate link if only one person is going to click on it. And
Yeah.
like you get like 20, 30,000 views, and it's like, dude, okay, I like this is just there's just no benefit for me long term. Like the company itself, they might get more followers or like they may get more attention, but they like there's no promises that that person is going to use the affiliate link. They might just go to their account, go to their website, and just completely neglect the fact that I have a code or something like that.
Hmm.
So like I got a DM about an affiliate link today, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm sorry, I just don't do those. Like I can't do it. Like it's so much easier for me to devote a video if to you, like if there's like equal like compensation, and I feel like you're undervaluing my compensation by just offering me an affiliate link. Like I feel like you're just kind of brushing me off. So I don't like those. But there are some deals. It depends on like the size of the company. Like there are some deals where yeah, I'm like totally cool just taking product, but I'll like just shout them out. Like I'm not gonna devote a whole video to it. I only devote a whole video, and this is the part where like knowing where I'm worth. Like I don't want to undermine my own value by devoting a video to a company that's not gonna pay me.
Right.
So like I'll only devote a whole video to that if they're gonna give me some sort of like compensation on the back end of it, and that's something we talk about beforehand. And like I'll run these videos by people, like I'll send them beforehand before I post, just because I want to make sure that they touch on all the points that they want. Um, but yeah, it's mostly on the back end, and I'm partially at a point where like I'm not gonna make a video for a company unless there is some sort of compensation because I'm a student. Like I'm a student too. Like I
Yeah.
got homework to do. So like
Yeah.
if you're not gonna like make it worth my time, like I gotta like I can't prioritize it.
Was it hard for you to turn down, kind of like NIL deals at the start of this?
Yeah, like it sucks because like they make it sound so appealing, especially with the affiliate link stuff. They're like, if the affiliate links do well, like you make this amount of money, and it's like
Yeah.
if the affiliate links like do well, maybe you'd want to do, or like your videos do well, maybe you'd want to do an actual partnership. And it's why can't we just do that now? Like what do you have to lose? Like
Right.
there's no, like you guys are doing so good. Like I don't understand what you guys have to lose. Like I'm only gonna like bring more attention to it. Like there's no such thing as negative views. Like that's just not a thing. So it's like I don't know exactly what they're trying to get at, but I mean it's sometimes it is hard. And like there was one I had to turn on recently. It was like with some like custom jersey company that's like makes the weirdest shit, dude. I my agent at Slice was like sending me this link. He's like, dude, it's 375 for just like a one off, like super easy, just like make a simple post. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's like easy 375 for me. But like, dude, it was so bad. Like their products were so bad. And I was like, I don't see I can't do this. So yeah.
That's good to know that you're sorting it through. You're not just doing everything that comes across, you and your
Yeah.
agent. Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it if I don't like it. Like
exactly.
I think that's that's a rabbit hole people can fall down sometimes. Like if you're doing something you don't love, then like you're gonna start making that a habit, and I don't want to fall, like I don't want to do that. Like I'm only working with companies that, one, that I can make a relationship with, and two, like are actually genuinely interested in working with me. Like that's part of the reason. Like my agent's a great guy. Like
Mhm.
Brandon, he's a stud. But like I also like I feel like it takes the personability out of it, or like just like the one to one kind of thing out of it, because like I'm talking through him, and it's like I'd rather do that myself sometimes, which
Yeah.
is why I do some outreach by myself too. Like I don't just leave everything up to him. So lucky that it's not exclusive, because or else I'd be a little stuck. But
Right. Yeah, that's what we're doing, like with Prodigy Chain, like where this podcast is going to go. We're trying to make,
mhm,
NIL more of a educational thing too, because like we hear NIL all the time, like what does it even mean? Especially now because
mhm.
NIL got signed, I don't know if you know this, but like for high school students, and most
Yeah,
of it's like high school students who make it. So it's
crazy.
trying to bring awareness to that and be like, here's like an educational like videos on, how you can make money, how to do it the right way, how to
Right,
fund your future and,
right.
making your personal brand like a priority too. That's kind of like a big priority too, is just to show like starting now, building your brand, who you are, can carry you a long ways. I mean, look at you now. I mean, you
Yeah,
started
I know.
started freshman year of college and or sophomore.
Yeah,
It's crazy now.
it's crazy.
So how are you able to manage, being a student athlete and then also basically having this job as a content
Yeah,
creator?
right. I like to think of it as one thing's an obligation, one thing's fun, and one thing is creative. And that one thing that's not fun is school. So uh yeah, I mean like school's supposed to go first. Like I I have a hard time with the whole like college thing sometimes because it almost feels like with what I'm doing right now, it's like if I don't have a degree and like if I'm making a little bit of money, like there's no reason like for me to kind of stress about like, and that's why I don't stress about school anymore. Like I still do try to do well, but I'm not gonna like fret over like a B or C. You know what I mean? Like C's get degrees. Sorry, kids. Like that's just kind of what it is. Like it
Yeah.
like the paper looks the same to everybody. So yeah, I don't fret about school that much. And it's been a little bit easier just because like it's all about finding your routine and something that works for you. Like I only have class Tuesday, Thursdays, so like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like I just try to like knock out everything out like as soon as I can. And then the fun thing is baseball. Like I get to show up and play baseball every day. Like, dude, like, I'm just sweet. I'm a kid, dude. Like it's fun. I get to go hit
Yeah.
a ball. So keeping that sort of perspective on that makes it a lot easier to make content because like yeah, like sometimes there are bad days and I don't want to pick up a camera and go film something, but it's like, dude, like it, I ban baseball's not forever. Like it's also something like fun. Like I just have to kind of be where my feet are and just like enjoy every moment of it because it's not forever. And I want to be able to share my experiences with people and maybe they can learn a little something from me. Maybe they can learn like, hey, don't be like this kid because he's weird, but stuff like that. So yeah, I mean it's the fun and creative part go hand in hand for sure. And um yeah, so
What is your major?
I'm marketing, so like it's not like the craziest thing in the world either. It's
Right.
just pretty chill.
Have you seen it help you in your content world at all?
Uh, uh, yes and no. Like marketing seems really like straightforward. Like I feel like if you're a people person, you'd be good at marketing. You
Sure.
know what I mean? Like it's not. There's no like secret sauce to any of it. Like it's not like finance or accounting where you actually have to like know stuff. Like
Sure.
you have to know like basics like strategies and stuff, but there's nothing like technical about marketing. Like the best part about marketing is that you can be creative. Like
Sure.
I have a professor for my marketing research class, and like I love this dude. Like his name's uh we call him Coach Garver because he wants to. Like, it's hilarious. He wants to be called Coach because he wants to coach us through like this marketing thing. I'm like, sure, dude. Like
Yeah.
let's sign me up. But no, he puts a twist on like this school thing for me, which is like I look forward to his class every Tuesday, Thursday because I get to kind of like it feels a little bit more lax. Like it's not a lecture. There's no like you have to do this to pass. Like it's all about being engaged, being talkative, people person. Like I'm like, dude, like hell yeah, that's me. Like I can't wait to just like to talk about it and learn it along the way. Like that's all about what I'm trying to do. Like if I can do that in the classroom, who says I can't do that with social media or baseball? Like being able to talk about things, learn about them, and just kind of maneuver through this whole thing is cool.
What are you doing outside of class? I know you're super busy, like during your school,
Yeah,
always doing content, baseball, and being a student, but what do you do in your free time to take your mind off of all this?
man. I eat. I don't know. Sometimes I just like to just go get some food and just like think about things. I don't know. The bet and I think that's the best part about like loving what you do is because like playing baseball and like making content doesn't feel like a burden. You know what I mean? Like yeah, there are some days like I sometimes I just spend days like brainstorming videos because I just like it's fun. Like I mean like I get excited when I come up with a good video idea and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this would be kind of cool.
Mhm.
Like baseball. Sometimes I'll just go hit because I'm bored. Like
Sure.
it's just the fact that I enjoy it makes it kind of it makes it better because like I don't there's not a lot of downtime anyways, but if I can fill that downtime in with something that I love, it makes it a lot easier to get through the day and through the week. But like I'll answer your question actually, besides baseball and like in this spring, like once school gets out early May, I'll probably go fishing a lot. Like there's a lot of ponds around here. I can go catch some hogs. So hopefully we can do that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, if I'm not doing anything. Like I'll just chill in bed, maybe hang out with my friends in my apartment, rot on TikTok probably. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Have you inspired like any other guys on your team to start doing content and stuff?
It's a couple of them had conversations with me about it, but it's like I feel like they're so scared to kind of get started with it because it's definitely a scary thing. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, we me and you and I both know,
Yeah.
like putting yourself out there initially is a scary thing to do, and like, it's not necessarily a leap of faith because it's not really like life or death, but like for some people, it kind of is a scary thing because you're worried about the hazing that comes with it or
Yeah.
whatever. But I mean, you just kind of grow thick skin. Like it's like, dude, there are some videos people are pretty ruthless, and I just want to be like, all right, guys, you guys shut up. But
Yeah. I
no,
remember, yeah. I remember my first talking video. Like I just talked over a video of like
mhm.
day, like just me shooting a hockey game, and I sat on it for like 2 days. I don't know if I can post this. Like my life's
Yeah,
like people are just gonna like not like me anymore. And then I posted it, and I did one of those like you post it, and then you turn your phone off for like 2 hours. Like you,
yeah, you just walk away. You're like,
yeah,
dude,
I was
whatever
like,
happens,
"Yeah."
I don't even want to know.
Yeah. And then they come back, and there's like 8 comments. People like, oh, this is sick. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
not that
It
bad.
makes you feel better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are some like I do this thing. It's like it's not really like I don't have like a official series, but I call it like the POV series.
Mhm.
So it's just like a bunch of like relatable things with baseball,
Yeah.
and stuff. So like I did one that kind of blew up. It was like you're home for Thanksgiving and your dad's throwing your BP for the first time in a while, and it's like
I
really
saw
really
that.
bad. It's really bad, but it's like kind of funny because it's like yeah, like people that grow up playing baseball, like they have their dad is always there,
Yeah.
like whether he's on them or just like trying to help them
Yeah.
out or correct them, like yeah. So I think stuff like that's funny. There was one where I did like infield drills in the airport, and I got so much
Dude,
hate
I
for that
commented on
video.
that. My comment got like 80 likes.
I know. Some of my teammates comment on my videos and they get like 1,000 likes. I'm
It's
like,
so
bro, what
funny.
the hell? Yeah, and like these people don't know that they're my teammates, which I think is the funniest thing. But dude,
Yeah.
yeah, people. I mean, people are pretty mean on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, I have to. Sometimes they're like, I need to like just put my phone down because sometimes we look. Because sometimes comments have good ideas. Like I can like look through comments and like I'll see some things like yeah, I could definitely do that, but some people are mean, man. Like
Yeah.
call me like a effing loser. I'm like, bro, you're gay. Like get a life. I'm like, bro, all right. Like
Hate comes from the bottom.
it really does.
Yeah.
So
Have you gotten good feedback on like, because I know you do like training drills, so to speak, but
yeah.
have you gotten good feedback on that?
I think my feedback for that is like people in the like again, I go back to the comments thing, but like I also look at like the amount of saves it has. Like if people are saving this video, that means they're gonna watch it later and try to learn from it, which I think is kind of cool. Like saves and shares is kind of a good way to measure like the success of that kind of video. But um if I can put like anything with drills in front of the video, I feel like it's gonna do well just because like people can look up like people really don't go to the internet as often as I find to learn how to do things as opposed to like going to like YouTube or like Instagram or like TikTok, like using those three platforms they've used for more instructional things more than ever.
Right.
And like hashtags are a big reason, like hashtags are super valuable, I think, like because those keywords are like super important, especially with like SEO, search engine optimization. So
Right.
stuff like that for sure has been important. But yeah, I think feedback is just about like it sounds weird, but like views and clicks. Like if a video, like there are a couple infield drills I've done where it's like a couple 100,000 views, and it's like I can repeat this a lot if I really want to.
Right.
So
What do you think you're gonna do kind of come your end of your baseball career? What do you see yourself doing in terms of like
ah,
content stuff? Just kind of see
dude, it
what
hurts.
you
I
do.
don't know. I really don't. I'm lucky because like I got the red shirt my freshman year here.
Sure.
So I like didn't play, didn't do anything. I just used it to develop, which was definitely very necessary. Like I was ass. But I yeah, I really don't know. I would love to keep playing baseball after college if I can. Just because like I can keep the content thing going around baseball. Like if like pro baseball has a cool ring to it too. Like I'm not like an MLB player, but like if I sign with like like the Milwaukee Milkmen, like I can still say pro baseball player. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know why it matters, but something else that's kind of crossed my mind too is like this is kind of cool. I'm gonna flex a little bit, but the owner and the head coach of this Phantom Bananas both follow me on TikTok. So I
Okay.
think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be
It's I
awesome.
love what they do too. Like I feel like that totally fit my personality too. Like being just like super upbeat, like happy, like playing
Yeah.
baseball for fun. Fans first thing is like super cool. So I've thought about that, and I know a couple of people that actually play on the team that I've connected with over social media.
Sure.
So hopefully I can use that as a resource too. But I mean, yeah, dude, I don't. It's kind of like sad to think about because
Dude, that'd be amazing. Go play for the Bananas.
that would be sweet. I
That'd be
know
so
that
cool.
would be awesome.
That's like the dream job for you, content
I
and
think so. Yeah. Content and baseball together. And it's like they like embrace the content piece. And I think that's what makes it a little bit hard here is like I can't film at like I mean, obviously I can't film it like this is like more like I hate to say Savannah Banana baseball is not serious, but like I mean, they're like dancing and shit on the field.
yeah.
Like I get like it's not as serious as like a college baseball or even a pro level. Like I can't film at practice, obviously. Like there's so many things that I can do. Like it takes a lot of time outside of like before or after for me to film these videos, and that's a little time consuming at times. Like, but if I were able to do it all at the same time, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'd do that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Who's your what does like the coaching staff think of your videos? Like, do they know about it or?
Yeah, that it's like so weird to think about because I don't really like talk to them about stuff like that. Like I'll ask them about baseball stuff
Hmm.
all every day,
Yeah.
but I'm not like I don't like I've had like our pitching coach like comes up to me. He's like, "Bro, I saw one of your videos on Instagram." I was like, "Thanks."
It's a
Like,
weird.
it's weird to react to. They all know I do it. They don't ever really talk to me about it, but I think that's also because they never really see me with a camera around, and that goes back to the piece of me doing it before and after. Because like I respect the fact that practice time is practice time. Like I'm not gonna take away from that. Like that's never gonna fly. That's not gonna make them like me at all. Like they
Yeah.
don't. I don't even know if they really get it, but yeah. They know about it, but they don't really talk to me about it that often.
Have you ever ran into any problems kind of creating content like during like your college time?
Uh, no, I
Like something
mean,
you're not supposed to?
Phil, no, no, I don't think so. Like, I think the only time I would think I would get in this trouble is if I like shared some of our like team philosophy, but like,
Sure.
I feel like that's so shared over like the general course of baseball that's like, it's not unique to just us. Like, everybody uses their own thing. And it's like, I posted a video on like how to steal a base. And like some of my teammates were like, bro, stop sharing our secrets. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like every team does this. Like, I don't understand I'm
Yeah.
just trying to, my audience is like 13-year-olds. I don't know who you think's watching
Yeah.
this, but no, I haven't really run into any issues. Like it's been fine. I think I know what to avoid and what
Yeah, it
like I
sounds like you
can't show
know.
like I can't like show our scouting reports. Like I'm not that dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So kind of thinking like you mentioned like your audience, more younger kids, what would you
Yeah.
give them for advice to kind of creating their personal brand and kind of growing into a person like you are, like with a good social media following and playing Division 1 baseball. What's your advice to those kids?
Man, one thing. Uh I would say you have okay. Well, I would say this: motivation is BS. Like motivation, like does not exist. It's more about discipline. Like discipline, like if you are able to be disciplined in something, that will take you a lot further than being motivated because motivation is so short term. Like discipline is more of a long term idea, and
Right.
if you're disciplined, that means it's a lot easier to get up every day and do something that I hope you love. Like if you're disciplined doing something you hate, like I don't have as much like respect for that because then you're just kind of chasing the bag instead of chasing like happiness. Like those two are so different in my opinion. Like I'm disciplined, but I'm disciplined at it because I love it, and I'm motivated every day because I love it. So it goes back to like loving the process, being disciplined in your process, and just like trying to enjoy it because like this thing we call life is so that's such a cliche, but it's so short. Like go
Right.
out and chase something that makes you happy. Don't fall to the norm of like I know I'm in college, but like being
Yeah.
a college baseball player has been my dream. So like that's the thing. But like don't fall. You don't have to fall in the norm of like going to college. You can pave your own path, do whatever you want. Like that's what you're doing. Like I think that like I think what you do is so sweet. Like you and Ryan, like I don't really know Ryan that well, but like I follow Ryan on
Yeah.
like TikTok and Instagram. And, like I think what you guys do is so sweet. Like I think like the whole video editing and like
Yeah.
that videography space is like sweet. Like I watch his videos all the time. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, dude, Ryan,
Um,
it's crazy. It's funny story. Ryan knows this, but when he was like he was when he was on base edits, like before he's
yeah, I
uh,
remember.
I remember he went to like a Notre Dame baseball game, and I was like, I like just got started. Like when I started filming your games and stuff, I was like,
Mhm.
who is the hell is this Ryan guy coming in my
Yeah.
territory? And I was just like, I had no like skin in the game. Like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
And then like 2 years later, I reached out to him to help me out, and then now he's just like a good mentor to me and helped me
Hey,
with
it's
everything.
great.
So it's
That's
crazy.
sweet.
It's
That's
just
awesome.
crazy how things work out, especially in like the
I
space
know.
we're in, like social media. It's just
Oh, yeah.
yeah, the connections
It's
are everything.
crazy. It is. It is really everything.